real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. He is the man with the plan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, we're almost there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah. I know. I still haven't put lights up. We're going to have like a week left when this one airs, so hopefully I have them up by the time that happens. Yep. But it was hard to find lights.
Really?
Well, that's because we waited until like a week ago. Where's that badump bum? Okay, anyway, sorry. But yeah, my wife's not very happy with me about that. We should have got them before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, we got a great guest with us in the house. That's Tina Sloat with Marie Realty. How you doing, Tina?
I am doing great, guys. Good to be here today.
Yeah.
Good. Did you put lights up?
It's funny you would ask. Yeah. We're in the same boat, actually.
There's hardly any place
Hopefully
that has
resolved
them.
this week. Yes.
All right. Well, good luck with that. All right. Well, so you're going to actually, so I want you to introduce yourself first. How you got into real estate, how long you've been in real estate, all that. And then we'll get into, stick with us, folks, because she's going to really give us some awesome information, especially if you've ever thought about investing in real estate.
Yes.
With some interesting strategies.
Yes.
So,
unique opportunities. Absolutely. Okay.
So go ahead and give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, when I was a teenager, I had just a tremendous blessing in that a broker came into my little chicken place I was working at, my first job. She took me under her wing in Southern California. She had a large brokerage. She taught me the ropes, taught me how to write contracts, how to manage the office. I then went into escrow, and at the age of 18, I was the youngest person in Southern California to receive my real estate license.
Wow.
All right.
So that's how I started. My first contract at 18 years old was a $400,000 cash offer for a home in the Hollywood Hills.
Wow.
It was really amazing.
At 18.
Yes. So I've loved homes my whole life. My parents had rental homes, so I call myself a house hoe, and I just love everything about homes. So it's really my passion. And while I kept my real estate license, even when I moved up to Washington State, always had rental homes and investments. I then, at the age of 20, opened up my own gift and interior stores in Washington State. And the last time we were together, we talked about home staging, which is something I do for my clients at no charge. Every listing gets staged. There's just extreme benefits. I know it's a crazy market right now. You can throw anything on the market and it'll sell. But in times when the market's more tempered or it's an even balance between buyers and sellers, staging can make a huge difference.
Sure.
So that's a little bit about me, and then moved here to Arizona in 2005. And it was here that I started my own brokerage and have been selling, and I'm currently in the top 1% of Phoenix Realtors.
All right.
So I just love what I do.
All right. So some time in California, Washington, and now down here.
Staying here, that's for sure.
Everybody from there's coming here right now, too.
Absolutely, right? California, Washington.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oregon. I think some people are wanting to get out of there, too. But
absolutely.
Oh, crazy times. So how have you been this year?
Great year, absolutely wonderful year. I mean, obviously a little bit difficult because we're scrounging around for inventory, and if anywhere we can find it. And many homes even selling. I just sold one this last week, didn't even hit the market. So,
that's how
very
it goes.
difficult.
Oh, gosh. All right. So let's get into, because I want to hear it.
Yes.
And I think the agents are going to really want to hear this. So tell us a little bit about your unique opportunities that you've really been digging into.
What I wanted to share is a little bit about my efforts to find a way to build a retirement income for myself, being that I've been self-employed and an entrepreneur since I was very young. I knew the idea of retirement was going to be on my shoulders. Even Social Security isn't anything for me because I don't even know if I've qualified, if I've done enough hours. But anyway, my point is, as I've been growing different businesses over the years, obviously I was engaging in rental homes, just outright purchasing rental homes. And we know that's a fabulous opportunity in that we benefit three ways. The first way is obviously real estate appreciation. Even Dave Ramsey recently was asked a question by a caller, and the question was, if I have an opportunity to invest in the stock market or invest in real estate, which will bring me the highest return? And even Dave Ramsey said, if you have the temperament for it, in the long haul, it will always be real estate. It will always outproduce. So buying rental homes was always a priority for me, but I was using capital, income capital at that time, and what also was happening is that the income from the rental was taxable at that time. Okay, it's a normal way that people do it. But as I was saying, rentals are beneficial in that we gain appreciation. That's how our investment grows. We also take depreciation. So that's another way that we gain in regards to a tax benefit. So that's how we make money. And the third way is any rental income, between the difference between our expenses and then obviously the income. Okay, so 3 ways that we can benefit from purchasing rental homes. But as my brokerage has grown and so forth, I find myself in a position where I don't want any additional income in my my yearly tax returns, because I want to defer it.
Sure.
So now that's started a whole new investigation of what are tax opportunities where I don't have to take income on rental homes. I don't have to use my capital at this time to purchase rental homes, but I can defer that taxation for my retirement when I'm no longer in a building mode and I want to retire and I want to live off of that passive income. So I want to share 2 ways that I myself have been investing in, I would say, the last 3 to 4 years. I've also shared these tactics with my clients, and they are now engaging. Just even this year, I had one of my clients engage through one of these very unique opportunities. But not only that, I want to speak today to any of you that may be self-employed. And again, you're in the same position that I am, an entrepreneur, and you know that there isn't anyone out there that's going to pay for your retirement. You don't have a way of, or you're not sure if you have a way of building that other than your cash flow currently. I want to share that you may have some money that can be tapped into for investment. For me, it was real estate investment, but it's not limited to that. So the first thing I want to share with you, well, here's my disclaimer. I'm not a CPA and I'm not an attorney, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just a hardworking slob, all right? And interested in how I can wisely invest the money I have.
So tax avoidance and deferral, not tax evasion.
Yes, absolutely, Jeff. Wonderful. Okay, and what I share with you, research yourself, because there's lots of information on the internet. I did most of my investigation that way, and then I began to call people, and I'm actually going to refer you to some people. I don't gain anything by these referrals. Actually, they don't even know I'm going to say their name today. But I found through various ways that these have been the most prudent and wise people that I've worked with. So the first opportunity is called a self-directed IRA. Self-directed IRA. Stockbrokers are not going to educate you on this alternative because they'll lose management of your account. Self-directed IRA, essentially, a self-directed IRA allows individuals to manage and invest their retirement money. In other words, if you have a 401k, you have a Roth IRA, you can put these monies, roll them over into an alternative account, a self-directed IRA, and invest them in alternative assets that you do not have the opportunity to invest in the stock market, such as real estate. And now I'm talking about hard asset real estate, a rental home. I'm talking about promissory notes. So another way of investing this money is to partner or to lend money to flippers, okay? And you can use that cash and turn that cash on a promissory note that is secured, and that's another way to invest that money.
Be the lender.
Yes, exactly, right. And then different IRA LLCs and so forth. But So the idea is taking your money, taking control of your money and investing it yourself, managing it yourself, okay? So another key reason why I've gone this route, other than, out and out purchasing rental homes, why I'm using my self-directed IRA at this point is this is something I have a passion for. I love homes. I love investing. I love renting. I love flipping. I love turning them. And we all know that just in general, anything you're passionate about, anything you love to do, you have the highest success rate in that arena. And that's why many people suggest find your passion, throw yourself into it. So I really felt after watching my 401k monies for many years essentially be stagnant. I mean, I know the stock market is raging right now, but I believe we all understand it's not always so and it won't always be. So for quite a few years, I had $80,000 in my 401k and it did nothing. Went up to 83, went down to 81, and I essentially ignored that account because I said it means nothing to me. I don't even know if it'll be there whenever I need anything. So finding out and researching about the self-directed IRA, I realized I could take that $80,000. I could capitalize it, I could leverage it, and I can actually buy my first real estate asset investment in my 401k account.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of it, taking something that had been stagnant, sitting there, doing nothing, and actually turning it into a hard asset. So that was one of my my real, what did I want to say? Motivation was to use the $80,000, you couple it with my passion for real estate, and actually obtain my first solid asset. I want to share that the result of rolling over my Roth and traditional IRA, because I had both, I had a very small amount in my Roth IRA. The result of that, putting into a self-directed IRA coupled with our great market here in Arizona, my first one was almost 4 years ago that I purchased, has resulted in my ability to purchase several other properties. So in other words, take that original asset that I had purchased in the 401k, let it appreciate, and then essentially sell it and double down. Okay, keep splitting, double down. All right, bought a smaller property, and now I'm looking for another property.
So did you have to hold that first one a certain time frame?
Well, as I was saying, our market's crazy hot now, right? So in 3 years, I had I purchased the property for $200,000, and I was able to sell it for $325,000.
After 3 years.
3 years.
And so you were renting it out, still making income that way. And
exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay. And so it was longer than 2 years then. Okay.
Yes, longer than 2 years, sorry. Okay, so and then obviously I'm deferring the taxes on that income for any of the properties that are in the 401k. I'm not accessing that money. I can't legally access that money, but I'm deferring it. So this is how it works. When you open up your self-directed IRA, you have a custodian. It's someone that is overseeing that account, all right? But I would suggest IRA Financial Group in Florida because you're able to do what's called a checkbook directed IRA, self-directed IRA. So what this means is you have actual access to your money through a checkbook. Something happens with the property, you're able to repair, call a repairman, do this and so forth, and use your checkbook as you normally would.
Give myself a debit card.
Yes. Well, yes, some of them do. Right. You can have a debit card
so
that you can pay for those things that that obviously pertain to the property. But there are also self-directed IRAs where the custodian has certain fees. So every time you need to pay a repairman, they're going to cut the check for you. There's going to be a charge for that. And there's also going to be a delayed time frame to get that money. So I started out that way and then realized that, I really want to go to the checkbook self-directed IRA.
Okay.
greatly beneficial. Okay.
Is there a fee every time you write a check?
No,
Okay.
just depending on where you place it, where you place your account. So if it's at a Chase or if it's at Desert Financial, Credit Union, that type of thing.
Okay.
So it doesn't pertain to the actual self-directed account, only to the checkbook that you place it, where you place it with which bank. Okay.
So I'm assuming that there's a management fee, probably something small.
Yes,
Okay.
very small management fee. I want to say it's around $150 a year. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really small.
So does that get rid of the need for 1031? If you're keeping all that money generating within?
Exactly. So
Okay.
it doesn't actually show up at all on your taxes, right? Just like your regular
Okay.
401k doesn't, because you're not
Right.
accessing that money,
Got it.
right?
Okay.
So what ends up happening is it goes into the custodian hands. You have access through your checkbook. Now you run the property as you would a normal rental. So I rent them, I meet my clients, I vet them, okay, and I decide on renters. Any expenses come out of that checkbook account, all right? The rent goes into the self-directed IRA. So that's it's building as the
okay.
rent is building every year, okay? So
Okay.
right, so so it runs as a normal rental, but you're just not accessing any of those funds, and
Okay.
it's deferred
Got
for
it.
retirement.
So if go ahead, Jeff.
Right.
No, I was just going to ask. So if you use your 401k to buy the rental property, but let's say you took a loan on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
do you make your payments from the?
Thank you so much. That's the next thing I wanted to speak about, because if you do not have enough cash, for instance, I had a client, they had an inherited 401k, which I myself have one of those too, and have purchased properties within that in my self-directed IRA. And so they received a certain amount of funds. We were able to find them a property that they bought outright cash because they had that amount
Sure.
in their self-directed IRA, okay, once they rolled it over. Now, what if you don't, as you're saying, Joey? What we can obtain is something called a non-recourse loan. It is not your traditional loan, but it's called a non-recourse loan. Now, with these non-recourse loans, you will need to put between 45 to 50% down on the non-recourse loan. So if we're getting a $300,000 property, you're going to possibly be putting $150,000 down. So there will be a minimum that you have to have in your 401k. You can't leverage it as much as you can a traditional loan with just putting 20% down, all right? But these also will require to have some reserves. So if you only have $150,000 to invest, and you're going to put that down, then remember you have to have just a little bit of money for reserves. The lender will require that so that you can cover expenses on the home. Now, these are not difficult to find, but I'm going to suggest one, and that would be First Western Federal Savings Bank, and you can reach them through myiralender.com. I've found that their fees are the most reasonable, and it's really a very straightforward process.
Okay.
And then, yes, Joey, your payment for that mortgage would come straight out of that 401k, the self-directed IRA.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, I want to ask a very, I guess it's a basic question that I don't know the answer to, is how does one start a self-directed IRA?
Yes. So you'll need, obviously, funds that you've already have somewhere in a 401k. Now, if you are currently employed and your employer is overseeing that account, rarely will they allow you to direct it somewhere else. They want those funds under their auspice. So this would need to be an account that you've already had, or for a former employer, or a personal one that you set up. So I had a traditional IRA, and every year I was putting in a certain amount. Now here's one of the wonderful things is I was limited in how much I could take advantage of that tax investment by putting money in my 401k. Well, with your self-directed, you're not. So you've got a different threshold. That's a whole different thing. So you're able to invest. But what I want to share about that is you'll need to have something that's already accessible that you can roll over into a custodian such as the IRA Financial Group in Florida. And then they will actually do the paperwork for you and get that set up.
Okay.
Good question, Joey.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. What was I going to ask? So the myiralender.com. That's separate from the place that you were talking about in Florida.
Yes, the iralender.com from First Western Federal Savings Bank is for a non-recourse loan when you are purchasing a hard asset without purchasing full cash.
Right. Okay. But the place in Florida was
That's to set up your
that's to set up-
self-directed IRA.
Okay. Got it. Do you want to mention who that is, or does?
It is IRA Financial Group, and they're located in Florida. That's their name, IRA Financial Group.
Oh, okay. Got it. I didn't write that down. So, wow, this is so.
That's
how many?
great information.
And check them up online. There's lots of videos from IRA Financial Group. You'll get educated on it, and you'll see it really is a pretty simple process.
No, that's awesome.
And you have how many now that you've turned that one into?
I have an inherited IRA. I received an inherited IRA from my mother, and I rolled that over into a self-directed IRA. I had been asking her to allow me to do that for years. She had one rental property, and I said, Mom, I know I could do much better, please. No. Okay. Well, when my mother passed a couple of years ago, I received that inherited IRA. I took that, and I ended up buying 6 properties from that, and I have 6 in that one. And then I have 3, I believe, in my self-directed IRA. And then I'll share about something else that I found out. But yes, and then I have 4 regular rental homes. No, I'm sorry, 8 regular rental homes.
8.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I have some in Prescott. But
Got it.
Yeah,
8 plus the 6 in
Yes.
there. Okay.
Yes.
So do you manage your own properties?
I do.
Okay.
I do manage them. I think eventually, when I retire and I don't want the burden of them, I may get a property manager. But recently, my tactic has been to go to a more, rather than a single-family residence, go to a more single-level townhome type of a property where I can pay minimal on my HOA dues. The exterior's taken care of. I've run my numbers on both, and I just feel that where the market's at, there's always going to be that pressure point at the lower end. And I always tell my investment clients, go toward that, because you'll always have the highest appreciation, the highest pressure at that end of the market.
With the townhomes, with the low HOA.
Low HOA, a townhome that is in a nice community, and so forth.
You know, my wife and I were talking about investing in like condos, the mid-rises.
Yes.
But now the HOAs are a little bit higher on that.
Absolutely.
So does that, would that deter you from
It wouldn't. I just look at all the numbers.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Yeah.
Look at the numbers, because your rent, if it's going to be downtown
rent's pretty
Scottsdale, your rental could be great.
Yeah, exactly. Even downtown Phoenix.
Yes.
We purchased one for ourselves, but in a couple of years we're thinking, well, we'll just rent this out and let's make that our niche.
Right.
To do rental properties in urban spaces. So.
Exactly. And I've done vacation rentals also in the past. Excellent property. So that also is a benefit. And even now, because there's many people moving into, Maricopa County, I think now we're the 3rd year in a row, the largest county for growth in the nation. And I know I have clients that keep saying, Tina, I'm a little bit scared. I think I'm going to pull off and wait. And I'm like, no, move forward, because people are moving here. And so I bring that up only because I'm always counseling them not to go into a year lease, because their home's only going to cost them more. Go with a vacation rental, do a short-term rental, and then let's get out there and beat the pavement.
Sure. So this would be the same strategy you would use for fixing and flipping as well,
Yes.
rather than keeping it for a long period. You say,
Yes.
like today, if you find a nice property that you can fix and flip, you can probably sell it pretty quickly.
Exactly. So with a self-directed IRA, you have more opportunities, and like I said, you can just be the lender, and
That's another way,
talk
yeah.
about being passive and not engaged in it. Yeah.
So you could even mix that then, right?
Yes.
Meaning,
Yes.
let's say that you don't have enough in there
Yes.
for the entire purchase, but you have a lender that will give you, say, 70% with a decent rate versus the 90% at a really high rate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a hard money lender, for
Yes,
example, right?
exactly.
But you could
That's
go with
what
a
you
lower,
are.
utilize some of your self-directed
Yes.
to offset some of that, so that you are getting a better rate on that
Yeah, so you can, if you have money in there, like right now, I just recently, 2 weeks ago, I bought another property, and now I don't have enough to purchase a whole home. So what am I going to do with that residual rather than let it sit there?
Sure.
Well, I do happen to work with a flipper. I'm going to approach him and say, hey, how much do you need for your next project?
Right.
And then I'll have that as an investment as well.
Now, do you negotiate the percentage rate?
Absolutely.
You do? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely, she negotiates.
Negotiate everything, Joey. Everything.
So they don't
She's
come to
not-
you and say, "I'll pay you, 15%."
She's not given the going rate. Come on. 2.95.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
I was born in Queens, New York, so everything is about
Everything
negotiation
is,
with me.
So when they say 15, you say 18.
That's right. That's right, Joey.
What is kind of a range there? I mean, from lower to higher.
Yeah.
Actually, it's gone down. I mean, you can get hard money loans for around 9% now.
I
you
need
know?
that contact.
Yeah, okay.
Up to
All
what?
right, I'll give you one.
Up to what?
Could be like 12. I've paid 12 often,
But
but
on
in
what
recent years
loan to
it's gone down.
value are we?
Oh,
Is that at 70, 80, what?
75.
75.
Yeah,
Okay.
75.
Okay. Yeah.
So see, somebody could take out 75 at the lower and then use some of their own funds
Yes, exactly.
to offset that
Sure.
so that they're getting a lower.
Not pay $5,000 per month for a
Right.
$400,000. No, that's
It
kind of
happens.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It happens. So what, you mentioned also there's another.
Okay.
I mean, anything else on
I
the
don't think so
software?
about that.
Okay.
I think that's
That was great.
kind of the nuts and
Yes.
bolts. And then for your listeners and viewers, it'll give enough information for them to go down a path of research.
If agents that are listening, if they wanted to reach out to you, is that okay? Or I should have asked that before we
Absolutely.
got on here. But
No,
how would they do that?
I've been sharing with some people at Security Title and some other places. Everyone I come in contact to, I love to be a resource in that way to help them. So they can give me a call at 480-313-9455.
Okay, there you
Or
go.
check me up, Tina Marie
Yes.
Realty.
Yeah. And Greg got you on here, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Greg.
I've been talking to Greg about it, and
Security
he's
Title
kicking
Greg.
himself that he didn't start his self-directed a year and a half ago when I discussed this with him.
Oh,
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg,
Come
see?
on, buddy. Oh, gosh.
So let me share about the second opportunity here.
Yeah.
I was putting into my traditional IRA every year, but I was capped. So legally, you can only put in so much. And I thought, gee, how can I lower my tax exposure on my yearly income? And ended up finding out about a very unique opportunity that a lot of dentists and doctors and very wealthy people implement. And that is a defined benefit pension plan. This hugely lowered my tax liability. I'm telling you guys, I wish I had found out about this years ago. And the idea here is that Tina Marie Realty has opened up a pension account for me.
Okay.
Tina Marie Realty, from the funds that are made from that business, puts in yearly a contribution to my pension plan.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Got it. So most people think that only if you work for a big company,
Yes.
you probably have access.
Right?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have an opportunity as entrepreneurs to open up our own pension plan and to allow for our company to put into our pension for us. So we're deferring those tax dollars. Now, what I did with that pension plan is turn it into a self-directed IRA.
Nice.
Okay, so what I'm doing through that pension plan is purchasing rental properties.
it.
Again, the same tactic.
So you have to roll it over and everything? I mean,
You
is that
can
what you're
set
talking
it
about?
up. The
Or you can
defined-
just set it up as
yes,
that's
you
what's
can set it up.
within that
Yes,
pension
and so
plan.
what I
Okay.
wanted to share with you is that here in Scottsdale, there's a pension actuary.
Okay.
His name is Bob Besson, Bessen, Besson Actuarial Services. You can call Bob directly, talk to him about this, what it will take to open up your own pension plan through your company. And this, as I said, huge benefit. And then go ahead and invest that money the way you would want to. Don't let it just sit there. I mean, you can, it could be in a savings account and sit there. It could be in a money market. But obviously, you're not leveraging it and making it work for you.
So I wonder if that works. And I know having your own company, would that, and I don't know if you would know this or not, but if an agent, let's say, has their PLLC.
Right, exactly.
Would that be?
It's not their PLLC. They have to actually open up this defined benefit pension plan. This is a separate account. But yes,
but
it's
that would
under
count
a
as
company.
a company.
Yes, yes.
Their individual
now,
company.
Bob would know better. I mean,
Right.
of that. But the idea, because it's not an LLC, your benefit plan is not an LLC.
Right.
But the company is paying for that plan on your behalf.
Okay.
Now, is it a percentage or is it you define a certain amount?
Right. So here's where a very good CPA comes into play. And so I work very closely with my CPA. We look at the income for the year, and then we dial in what that contribution will be.
Oh, okay.
So that there's some money to pay taxes on,
Right.
but not too much.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Man, this is good stuff.
Bob Besson.
Yes,
Is that what you
Bob
said?
Besson
Okay.
here in Scottsdale.
All right. I have to look him up. That's awesome. This has been some good information.
Yes,
really-
you like?
that's great.
All right.
Yeah, I like. I probably have some questions off air too. but
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So do you use this for your, let's say, your own retail real estate clients as well, and just say,
Yes,
hey,
yes. I've been trying to share as much of this with my clients. I really should. I mean, once COVID's out of our way and all, I've done it once. I've had a dinner, had my clients and so forth, and have shared. And now some of my clients are moving in that direction. They understand it, and I've been working with it long enough now that I understand it
Yeah.
and see that the benefit of it.
no, that's good.
No, that's really cool.
Yes. So essentially, everything I've spoken about today is people who love real estate and are interested in investing in rental homes and so forth, rather than do it with your funds that are in your bank account accessible now, and perhaps you don't need the income on that property. It's just going to make you pay more taxes. Think about these alternative plans that can defer your taxes and can build for you at the same time. And you may have some money that you're not accessing. This is one of the big things with my clients is they say, Tina, I'm interested and I really want to get a rental home. Teach me that, and then but they don't have enough funds, enough cash on hand. So that's where I come in and I say, hey, do you have a Roth IRA? Do you have a 401k? Where is some money that we can access to get you in the game?
Do they normally give you that, like, whoa, hold on a second.
You know,
we're going to touch my retirement account?
Well, I think a lot of people are very intrigued by this. I think, our society has moved to a place of autonomy. Everything is, how do I want to say? Everything is highly individual and specialized. And especially with millennials, I find they are open. I love working with them because they really want to explore options.
Yeah.
They're not stuck in a routine. And so I do find that the millennials are extremely open to it. And then, too, I've proved it. I'm able to show them my rental properties. I'm able to take them by the hand and show them how it works. And it really is very simple. It's just in a different account. It's not going to your everyday checking account.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
So if an agent, let's just say, okay, I'm a real estate agent, but I want to learn what you're learning and doing, right? How long do you think it would take someone from scratch to, truly understand this?
Oh, I would say a matter of maybe 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Except for you'd have to read it multiple times because your memory.
Yeah, that's
No,
okay.
Oh, that's right, Joey.
So it'll take me 8 months. That's still good.
Still good. Yes. Yes. Read all you can and then begin discussing the concept with, for instance, some of the people that I've shared today. But there are others as well.
Greg has been pushing you to coach. So once
yes.
you do a coaching thing, let me
Yes.
know.
Okay.
I'll be your first client.
Okay. Yes.
No, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this.
Oh, you're so welcome.
It's been great. It's been, well, I've learned some things.
I did too.
For sure.
Good.
And I'm going to get some things set up. So
Very good.
maybe we should buy a house together. How about that?
Awesome.
There we go. Throw some money.
You do
I
have
wanted to
extra
share
money.
that. That's another thing you can do. If you don't have enough, you can partner.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I've purchased a property with just this couple of weeks ago. 45% of the money came out of my inherited IRA. 55% came out of my defined benefit plan. So if you don't have enough, you can mix your plans, or you can partner with someone else
somebody,
and
yeah.
have a share in it.
Oh, there you
No,
go.
that's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Because then you're hardly paying anything
That's right.
to get that money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you guys. It's been great.
That was awesome.
All right, we're going to jump in.
Re-listen to
You
this.
ready to jump into the next segment? Before we do, we need to give a shout out to Security Title Agency
Yep.
and Fidelity National Home Warranty.
Yes.
Thank you, sponsors. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and Greg, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Greg.
Listen to Tina.
Don't forget Greg.
All right, let's do it. What do you think the reason is that many agents are not successful?
Well, I would say that selling real estate takes an incredible amount of self-discipline. I mean, you're your own boss. You need to get up and you need to have a plan and you need to kill it. You really have to be
Yeah.
self-motivated.
All right. All right. During this COVID time, what has been your I don't know if you watch any of these. What's been your favorite Netflix or Amazon Prime series or Hulu series
Oh,
or
interesting.
recommendation?
You know, I don't have cable and I watch YouTube, and so
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
learn
that's
a lot of
me
things.
too.
But actually, just recently, I saw something on Italy that I really enjoyed
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. Yes, so
Oh,
that's been
All
enjoyable.
right. So what do you watch on YouTube?
Oh, YouTube, a lot of political things.
Okay.
Me too. Too
Woo!
much.
There
Too
we go.
much.
and yeah, and I'm a Christian. I'm born again Christian. I love the Lord,
All
and so
right.
I'm always learning.
Awesome.
So that's something else that I do.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, did
Awesome.
you know that I was a pastor, or I am a pastor?
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
And I was on staff on several churches.
Were
So
you?
yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Wonderful, Joey.
Nice.
He has a hard time remembering the
Yeah.
verses. No. Okay, I'm going to stop bothering you about
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Because that's enough. That's enough. Jeff, stop. All right, got it. How about? Do you have a favorite mobile app?
No, I don't really.
No. Okay, then that's a wonderful question.
Good job, Jeff.
We'll have you draw the map. How about we draw
okay.
the mask?
All right, let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Are you going to ask me that?
I can read it if you want me to.
You want me to answer that?
Yes.
What's it?
Okay.
What is it?
All right.
Who's your favorite superhero and why?
Oh, has to be Captain America.
Yes.
Yes, his shield of faith. Yes, love that guy. Love our country too.
I loved his. Okay, so I have to say, one of the movies he was in, or one of the Avenger movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him. What's the girl's name?
Oh yeah.
She was driving a flying thing, and they had Loki, I think, in there.
Oh, okay.
Somehow he got out, and then Thor went flying out, and then Iron Man went flying out, and Captain America's getting on his parachute.
Yes.
And she says, "Cap, I think you better sit this one out." He's like, "Why?" "Well, those other guys are basically gods." And he goes, "There's only one God, ma'am, and I don't think he dresses like that."
Oh.
And out he went. So I like him too. He's my favorite.
Yes, yes, awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being in here.
Yes, guys, I
This has
really
been a lot of
enjoyed our
fun.
time.
Until next time, agents, we are the weekly closer. We'll see you later.
Adios.
Awesome. Great job.